Where in the whole world is the place with the most money? In my opinion, one is the Federal Reserve, the other is right here, Beijing Financial Street. Hello everyone, I'm Polo. Today's story starts from Beijing Financial Street. This is the starting point of Financial Street, the headquarters of the People's Bank of China. Working world, including Construction Bank, Bank of Communications, CITIC, Minsheng, and other bank headquarters are all located here. Starting from 800 years ago, when this was the Golden City district of Yuan Dynasty's capital, this place has mostly been China's financial core. The Great Qing Bank and the Republic of China's Bank of China were all here. But today, we're not talking about banks. We're discussing Beijing's only Taoist shrine, dedicated to Lü Dongbin, the immortal patriarch. So why does Financial Street worship Lü Dongbin? This story is a long one. Yuan styled Dongbin, Taoist name Pure Young Master, Tang Dynasty native of Puzhou, founding patriarch of Taoist alchemy school, mysterious Taoist deity. In folk legends, Lü Dongbin is one of the 8 immortals, representing all people, men and women, old and young, rich and poor. He specifically represents men. All 8 immortals were mortals who became deities, so they all retain human desires and emotions. Regarding Lü Dongbin, the most familiar saying should be, "A dog bites Lü Dongbin, failing to recognize a kind heart." So, what kind of deity is Lü Dongbin exactly? This compels us to discuss him and his conjugate master, disciple Zhong Quan. Legend says the chief male immortal is called Donghua Emperor, as known as Dong Wanggong. He took a disciple named Zhong Quan, who's also one of the 8 immortals, a Han Dynasty general, hence called Han Zhongli. Then this master-disciple pair started a strange play. Dong Wanggong reincarnated as mortal Lü Dongbin. Zhong Quan saw this and went, "Hey, this can't go to waste!" Immediately rushed to enlighten Lü Dongbin and took him as disciple. So these two became conjugal master-disciple. Why did Zhong Quan do this? I guess because he was bored. Zhong Quan once wrote a motto, "I, Zhong Quan, am the laziest guy in the world." His teacher Dong Wanggong felt the same way. They were truly birds of a feather. So after Lü Dongbin became an immortal, he kept spreading this lazy energy, causing trouble all over the world. For example, there's a famous story of the Yellow Millet Dream. One day, Lü Dongbin was hanging out in Handan. At an inn, he met a young man named Lu Sheng. 2 lazy guys started chatting. During the talk, Lu Sheng said, "Bro, look at me, so poor. Life is meaningless." Lü Dongbin replied, "You are a strong guy with a good appetite. How can life be meaningless?" Lu Sheng said, "I'm supposed to be a scholar. I can't become an official or get a government job. Of course it's boring." At that moment, the smell of food came over. The shop was cooking yellow millet rice. Lu Sheng said, "I'm in a bad mood. I'll take a nap first and eat when I wake up." Lü Dongbin said, "Here, take this," and casually handed him a pillow. "It could be inserted here." Lu Sheng touched the pillow and fell asleep. When he woke up, it was dark. He went home, not on laughter. Hey, he passed the exam, became an official, married a high official's daughter, and did great things for the country. Within a few years, he dominated the court. Then, he was attacked by political rivals, lost power, was exiled, and finally got beheaded. As he had dropped, Lu Sheng screamed, Oh, it was all a dream. Not truly awake, he smiled the familiar scent of yellow millet. It turned out that decades of life were just a yellow millet dream. Seeing Lü Dongbin smiling at him from across the room, Lu Sheng bowed deeply to the ground, then walked out with determined eyes. I guess he understood life and realized that there are more important things than being an official. As for Lü Dongbin, he just gave a fine smile and continued wandering the world. Now, let's talk about the 8 immortals crossing the sea. Why did it happen? Boredom. That day, the 8 immortals had nothing better to do, so they got together and got drunk. After getting wasted, Iron Crutchley said, "Let's go play in the sea." Everyone agreed. Then Lü Dongbin's lazy energy flared up. "Hey, we are all immortals. Renting a boat to cross the sea? That's boring. Using our magic powers individually, that's the way to do it." Birds of a feather flocked together. These 8 immortals all had that troublemaking temper. They all said, "Great, let's do it." 8 immortals crossed the sea, each showing their powers. Then Han Zhongli stepped on a fan. He Xianggu rode a lotus flower, and the whole group set off. Holy cow! Remember when Naja just washed his red armillary ribbon and caused a tsunami in the East Sea? Now, with all these magic treasures thrown in together, they made the East Sea boil. The Dragon King's lungs were hurting. "What the hell are you doing? You are bullying us too much. Beat these guys!" He led shrimp soldiers, crab generals, dragon sons and grandsons, and they charged over. But the 8 immortals weren't pushovers either, all still drunk and acting wild. Both sides started fighting. The commotion in the East Sea was so huge, it disturbed the South Sea. The South Sea is Guanyin Bodhisattva's territory. The Bodhisattva couldn't sit still. "What's going on here?" She flew over to check and got furious. "You lot dare call yourselves immortals? Shame on you! Stop this nonsense! Go home!" Both sides had actually started fighting on impulse. Seeing it might turn deadly, they already wanted to stop. The Bodhisattva gave them an out, exchanged some formal words, ceased hostilities, and went home. Truth is, most fights in the world are like these. Bored people looking for trouble, clashing over nothing, and only realizing after fighting what was the point. So, is Lü Dongbin just an ordinary immortal? Why does Financial Street worship him? Well, let's finally talk about some even more bizarre stories of Lü Dongbin. For example, Lü Dongbin is actually the father of modern psychology. These days, there's a popular personality test called MBTI. You've probably heard of it. MBTI uses theories from Yuan, one of the 3 major psychology schools. So, where did Yuan's theories come from? 3 sources. First was Freud. Yuan ordinarily worked with him, but later thought Freud's idea was wrong, so he started his own school. The second source was the I Ching. The last one, Lü Dongbin. Lü Dongbin wrote a book called The Secret of the Golden Flower, discussing self-cultivation. The core idea is a technique called radiant introspection, not the dying person's final glow we usually think of. This method involves looking inside at the heavenly hearts, regulating breaths, focusing the mind, condensing innate Tai Yi true energy, the golden flower, and ultimately achieving dual cultivation of life and spirit, transcending life and death. After reading it, John was astonished. He then developed his collective unconscious theory, which evolved into the MBTI we know today. So, what other secrets does Lü Dongbin have? Now let's open Taoism complete works of Lü Zu. There's a mantra titled the Supreme Decrees Salvation Sutra, whose embodiment chapter reads Om Gao Pan Tou Sola Doma Soha. What this? Scholars verify it's an ancient Central Asian language related to modern Syriac. Translated to English, yes, the price of the image of the king is Jesus. Is this Christian content? How come Christianity appears in Lü Dongbin's texts? Actually, during his Tang Dynasty era, a Christian sect came to China for missionary work. They were later called Jingjiao by the Tang people. Jing is another transliteration of Jesus. Normally, we'd assume Jingjiao repackaged Christianity as Taoism for easier conversation, just like Matteo Ricci later did by framing Christianity as a Confucian school. But what if we brainstorm wildly? Taoism has legions of gods reincarnating. We mentioned Lü Dongbin being Dong Wanggong's reincarnation. Couldn't this lazy Dong Wanggong also reincarnate as Jesus in the West just for fun? Just like Dong Wanggong and Zhong Liquan played teacher-student, maybe Lü Dongbin and Jingjiao's simultaneous emergency was another cosmic game. Let's get crazier. The Christian world dominated for 300 years until last century when America became its leader. One of their tools of power was the US dollar. The dollar's most mysterious symbol is the Eye of Horus, a heavenly eye watching everything. But look closer. This eye radiates light in all directions. Radiant light. What does Lü Dongbin's golden flower say? Its first line states, nature is Tao. Tao has no form, just primal essence and spirit. Life force is invisible, entrusted to heavenly light. Heavenly light is invisible, entrusted to two eyes. Could this inner observation of heavenly heart, considering golden flower energy, actually be the radiant eye of Horus? Now look at this. The People's Bank of China logo is a Warring States era stylized person character, but the more I look, the more it likes three flowers gathering at the crown, a Taoist enlightenment symbol. Let's check Lüzu Palace main hall. Medicine King Sun Simiao on the left, Wales god Zhao Gongming on the right, with Lüzu in the center. Remember, this is Beijing Financial Street, home to the PBOC and the Mayor Bank headquarters. Federal Reserve, People's Bank of China, Lü Dongbin. What secrets lie here? Alright, these are wild theories. Don't take them seriously, just enjoy the story. If you search Lüzu Temple on maps, you'll find the address here, 337 Zhaodengyu Road. But now it's a communal courtyard. Earlier, the residents wouldn't let us film inside, so we just shoot at the entrance. This was the original site of Beijing's Lüzu Temple. After all these stories about Lüzu, what truth does he ultimately teach us? Standing here, I suddenly realized Lüzu shows that even his own temple can be given to common people as housing, meaning living itself is life's greatest purpose. I'm Plolo, see you tomorrow.